Hello everyone, I am Michelle Marsh from the Unquiet Classroom, and today I want to talk to you about sub-plans. So we all know as teachers, it sucks to write sub-plans. Okay, it's no fun, it's more work, it's almost easier just to go, but there are times when we need it, right? So today we're going to talk about it. So as you probably know, or as your admin has probably told you, sub-plans are important, but almost more important than the sub-plans are prepping the students for a sub. The way I look at it, you have two choices. Either you can prepare the class to run itself while there's a sub there, or be prepared to show up to a note that says, please do not contact me again, from your sub. Even the perfect sub plans fall apart if students aren't trained. In reality, sub days are kind of a test of your classroom culture. If students are prepared, if they practice the routines, if you get them in the right mindset, and you show them how to behave, tell them what to expect, sub days can be pretty successful. So all of this falls under the caveat that you are planning good sub-plans. You have a solid plan, you've listed out your class norms and expectations, subs know how to handle your classrooms if things were to go wrong, they know the schedule. We're all assuming that. If you don't happen to have those things panned out yet, maybe you're a new teacher, maybe just your sub-plans haven't been working, I am linking my free sub template below. And I also have some other fun things that you might want to pick up in my store. So what do? I explicitly teach my kids what to expect when there's a sub. So just like we practice fire drills, here in California, earthquake drills, hard lockdowns, soft lockdowns, we also practice sub days. The beginning of the year is a great time of year to do it because you're practicing things anyway. I'm teaching them how to line up. I should also teach them how to line up if there's a sub here. If it's not the beginning of the year, the best time to start is now. One fun way that you can do this is you can role play. And I know everybody rolls their eyes at that. I do too. It's my least favorite PD. But the kids actually have fun with it because they're allowed to suggest scenarios. So it's like, well, what if the sub shows up and they don't know where the scissors are? Okay, well, let's practice. What if the sub shows up and they're mean? Okay, let's practice. What if the sub is yelling at me? Okay, let's practice. What if the sub forgets to send us out to lunch on time? Okay, let's practice. And we go through and we practice how we speak to a sub, how they act as a class, how they act as individuals, how you politely tell someone who's new to your classroom, actually, this is the way we do it. We practice all of those, and we do it ahead of time. If you are a fan of the anchor charts, you can make an anchor chart. I sit in my assigned seat because I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but suddenly, Craig is Daniel and Daniel is Craig on a sub day. Stay in your seat. Maybe I don't correct the sub. We often talk about being respectful, that the sub's going to come in with rules of their own, and we just kind of have to respect that. Doesn't mean we like it, but we respect it. So you can put all this on a chart if you want. Another thing that works is electing some classroom leaders. Now, if you're real brave, if you know your class, you can also make this a student-centered activity where they decide who their classroom leaders are. I mean, they're much more likely to follow someone they have chosen. But if you want to choose the leaders, that would be great too. It's not necessarily who has the best grades, but who is able to do things in a mature and responsible way. Who is able to communicate their thoughts and ideas. Who is calm under pressure. That's who I would choose. I also remind them that in our classroom, I am Batman, they are Robin. Even when I'm not there, they are Robin. So they're not there to fight and crusade for all of the children. They're not there to stand up to the sub and tell them what's right and what's wrong. They're there to help, right? Robin's always there, gear in hand, to help. It's also helping to have classroom leaders because then the sub knows who to trust. The sub knows who they can go to. It's a responsibility for the students. They like it. No matter what grade I've taught, primary or secondary, they like it. They like being the responsible sub. I do try to rotate who is my responsible student. Obviously, I also leave good sub plans, like I said. Another huge thing is, if at all possible, tell your students you are not going to be there. If you have to go to the doctor, if you have a PD at the district, if your dog is having a birthday, okay, maybe the neighbor's cat is getting married, I don't know. Whatever the situation is, try to tell your kids ahead of time, because if they know, it's not a surprise. If they know, you can let them know, I am expecting a good report. I know you are wonderful students. I know you know how to behave, and I am excited to hear the report that the sub leaves. put incentives in there. You know, if you're somebody who does like sticker economy, candy treats, maybe you don't do positive behavior reinforcers, maybe you just give everybody a high five, whatever you do, put that in there. You know, when I get back, I'm excited to high five my helpers, you know, Jolly Ranchers around for anybody who ends up on my nice list. Letting your kids know ahead of time is super helpful. Now, what do we do when we get back? Hopefully when you get back, your desk isn't covered in, you know, 48 sticky notes, and there's not a, you know, a fort made out of clipboards in your classroom. Hopefully the sub actually did the lesson plan and the students sat and listened, and there aren't any students being written up left and right. But then it's great to sort of go over it. Read the sub notes. If appropriate, read them aloud to the class. And then as a class, work on what we will do next time. Next time, I will tell the sub that you're allowed to listen to music when you're doing your free time. Let the students give feedback and then actually incorporate it. So prepping makes all the difference. Prepping your kids, prepping yourself, and prepping your classroom community. Make it a part of every day. You know, when you're handing out papers, shout out, "What would we do if I'm not here?" And then they can say, "Greg would hand out the papers." Whatever. Make it a part of your routine, and then it's not a surprise. Okay? Then nobody's upset, everybody's happy, and a sub is happy to come back to your class. And in this economy, that is what we all need. All right, if you're not currently following me, go ahead and hit subscribe below so you can get more teachers' tips, as well as just offering up other tips on how to build classroom community, classroom management, and supporting teachers. I'm Michelle Mirisch from the Unquiet Classroom. In the comments below, tell me, what do you do when you know you're gonna have a sub? Bye.